Some much needed rain is in our forecast for today and tomorrow. I'll let you know if it will affect the morning or the evening commute.
Budget crunch. The Wake County School Board signs off on $10 million in cuts. The area is losing funding and why the school board says this has to happen. Wrongful death lawsuit. Today, new arguments in a civil court case involving the family of Haley Brooks. Why City of Raleigh employees say they should not be held liable for the death of the 11-year-old during a Christmas parade. Those stories and others that we're watching very closely here as you're waking up this Wednesday morning at 6 a.m. Thanks so much for joining us here on WRAL News. I'm Chris Lovingood.
And I'm Renee Chu. Welcome to your Wednesday. We've certainly enjoyed these beautiful sunny days, but we are looking forward to some beneficial rain. A chance today and an even better chance tomorrow. Let's get to meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner tracking our next weather maker.
I know a lot of people are excited about it. This weather maker here back to our west, this cold front is bringing some showers and thunderstorms to people back to our west. We're not seeing any rain right now, but by the time we get to, say, mid-morning, we'll begin to see some isolated showers. What we see today will be scattered and light. We're not looking at a whole lot of rain today. There's lunchtime. We'll push it on through. There's 1 o'clock, and we'll likely have rain around our area up through around 3 or 4. It does look like it'll be dry through our morning commute and during the evening commute. It's just that we'll see some showers in between. And then the main event starts overnight tonight after everybody, for the most part, goes to bed closer to midnight and then lasts into the day tomorrow. It'll likely affect the morning commute. We'll walk through that coming up. This morning, it looks beautiful. We do have mostly cloudy skies. This is a live look at the Weld apartments that are over near Dix Park, and they have such a beautiful view there of downtown Raleigh. 63 is our temperature. It's a little breezy, southwest wind at 15, and we'll see a high of 82 this afternoon, so it does stay fairly warm for today. We'll have a good chance of rain tomorrow. We'll talk about how much we'll see and an update for the timing of the rain for Mother's Day. Ken?
6:02, Elizabeth, a rather quiet start to your morning commute as we take a live look at I-40 Carytown Boulevard. Traffic flowing nicely in all directions. And really, Julie, this is indicative of what we're seeing in all of our major roads. They're all delay-free. We do have reports of first responders working a crash on Eagle Rock Road near Wendell Boulevard. We're not picking up any delays in that area, but if something should happen, I'll keep you posted. But you're getting ready to head into the car. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Wake County Schools has signed off on a more than $2 billion budget, and that includes $10 million in cuts. Those cuts include funding for assistant principals, 7 vacant central services jobs, and millions from the transportation budget. District leaders say they were squeezed by a number of factors, including rising costs. The budget now goes to the county for approval. Now, the school board will take some more time to decide whether to change the calendars of 8 year-round schools. The board had been scheduled to vote on the cost-cutting measure later this month, and they will now take it up next month. Many families, though, they want the year-round calendar to stay. The school system says that schools don't enroll enough students to stay on their multi-track year-round calendars.
Today, the North Carolina Senate is expected to approve a bill that would block counties from applying new appraisals to property taxes. This would apply to appraisals conducted in 2026. Local officials say the bill could hurt their ability to fund services at a time of population growth and rising costs. If approved, the bill would head to the State House for consideration. Keep up with the bill by checking the NC Capitol section of WRAL.com.
Today, new arguments in a civil court case involving the family of Haley Brooks. 2 Raleigh City employees want to be removed from that lawsuit over the 11-year-old girl's death during the Raleigh Christmas parade back in 2022. Let's bring in WRAL's Kelsey Coffey. She joins us live from the Wake County Courthouse this morning. Kelsey, the employees say they should not be held personally liable before what happened that day.
Yes, Chris, that's what their attorneys are arguing. In just a few hours, our cameras will be back here inside the courtroom following any new developments. Attorneys for Haley Brooks' family are arguing this morning after 2 City of Raleigh employees have requested to be dropped from this wrongful death lawsuit. 11-year-old Haley Brooks was hit and killed by an out-of-control pickup truck that was pulling a float during the 2022 Raleigh Christmas parade. This lawsuit claims the City of Raleigh event planners and employees did not ensure safety. According to court documents, 2 city employees are asking to be removed from the case. Whitney Schoenfeld, the city of Raleigh's interim senior manager of special events at the time of the parade, and Kirk Archer II, the city's special event planner in 2022. Their attorneys filed a motion saying that as city employees, they cannot be held personally liable for the criminal conduct of a third party. Landon Glass was driving the pickup truck that hit Brooks at the parade. Last year, he pled guilty to obstruction of justice, death by motor vehicle, and having a dangerous weapon at a parade. The hearing continues this morning at 9:30. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
And Donald Trump is pressing pause on Operation Freedom, and that's the military mission to escort ships through the Strait of Hormuz. The president announced last night the operation is on hold, but the U.S. blockade will stay in place. President Trump said the pause would give the United States time to finalize a settlement with Iran, but he also stressed the ceasefire, it is not over. That's despite Iran targeting 2 U.S. flagships that passed through the strait. The U.S. military says the attacks were intercepted and the Iranian boats were destroyed.
And happening now here in the WRAL Live Center, China's top envoy calling for now a comprehensive ceasefire in the war in Iran. He made these statements earlier today as China's foreign minister, really calling for the ceasefire after really injecting new energy into the war and the efforts happening in the Middle East right now. So he said that his country was deeply distressed by the conflict. He also spoke after the meeting with Iranian foreign minister who was visiting Beijing for the first time since the war with the U.S. and Israel started. We know this comes after the president said that he would pause his latest operation in the Strait of Hormuz. We'll keep a close eye on this and the latest in a war in Iran. We know you will, Laura. Thank you. Oil and gas prices are up again this morning. The new numbers from AAA show the North Carolina average at $4.21 a gallon. That's 7 cents higher than it was yesterday. In Raleigh, it has jumped to $4.25 a gallon, and in Durham and Chapel Hill, gas is around $4.26. The rising gas prices have many people rethinking their travel plans. It is tourism week across North Carolina, and tourism is a major economic driver for our state. We spoke with the executive director of Visit North Carolina. He says while higher gas prices may not break the bank for a weekend trip, they can still influence spending behavior.
The psychological impact is big, and it causes people to rethink whether they're going to take the trip or how long they're going to stay or how much they're going to spend when they're here.
There are still ways you can support tourism without having to drive all over the state. Some options include visiting parks or museums in the area, many of which are free. Today, we're getting new insight into student behavior and school conditions across the state.
And we have WRAL's Kirsten Clark on that story this morning outside the State Board of Education building in Raleigh. Kirsten, more than 100,000 teachers took part in a statewide survey highlighting school conditions.
Yes, Chris. Just days ago, we saw educators from across the state marching past this very building, in part standing up and requesting better conditions for schools and improvements. And these results here from this teacher survey show where teachers want those improvements, starting with managing school behavior. In elementary schools, more than 13% of teachers say threats of violence toward them are a big issue. More than 30% say bullying and physical conflict are problems among students. 56% of teachers say student disrespect of teachers is an issue. Middle school teachers say bullying and vandalism are two of the biggest student behavior problems. 16.8% of teachers say threats of violence toward teachers, and 9% say student possession of weapons are problems. Now to high school, where 64% of teachers say drug and tobacco use is an issue, with vandalism, gang activity, and student possession of weapons also needing attention. In addition to those numbers, about 30,000 teachers also say that they are not comfortable working in their schools because of issues like temperature as well as class size. The State Board of Education will review those results at their meeting starting this morning. Live in Raleigh, Kirsten Clark, WRAL News.
Today, the Federal Aviation Administration will talk about expanding the airspace over RDU. Under a new proposal, flight paths would not change, but there would be a larger area where pilots need to talk with air traffic control. The FAA says the expansion would help the agency address the growing number of flights in the area. It would also improve safety for a larger area around the airport.
The expansion provides an opportunity to align the control airspace with the current aircraft volume. For Raleigh, this improves predictability for the pilots and controllers and supports the safe and efficient operations at Raleigh.
There will be a virtual community meeting this evening at 5. A final ruling on the proposal could take up to 2 more months.
2 people accused of stealing from a farm supply store in Chatham County are in jail this morning. They're right here on your screen. Jacob Phillips and Morgan Shaw are charged with several felonies. Deputies say they found the 2 hiding inside a truck off Claude Phillips Road, and they also found stolen guns and drugs inside the truck. Phillips and Shaw are expected in court next week. A Wake County Child Care Center is responding after one of its employees was charged with misdemeanor child abuse. Archana Singh is accused of grabbing a child by the arm, yanking him backward, and then causing him to hit his head on the ground. According to the warrant, this happened last month at the Children's Lighthouse in Holly Springs. The child care facility says that Singh was fired immediately. They also say the child is still enrolled. A statement says, in part, quote, "We are fully cooperating with law enforcement and state licensing and will continue to do so as both investigations move forward." Your time this morning, this Wednesday, is 6:11. Issues with AI detection. A Wake County student says that she is accused of cheating, and this is a wrong thing to do to her, as she is taking her issues directly to the school board. The higher standards that she wants schools to use when using tools to find cheats.
Scam warning. State leaders are sounding the alarm about a scheme targeting licensed professionals in North Carolina. What they say are the biggest red flags.
It's dry for the morning commute, but once we get to mid-morning into the middle of the afternoon, we have a chance of some scattered light showers. It looks heavier potentially overnight tonight and tomorrow. I'll walk you through the timeline. 6:14, our next weather maker bringing some showers and thunderstorms to parts of Kentucky and Tennessee. Way out ahead of that, we're going to see some isolated showers for today, mid-morning through around the middle of the afternoon. It should keep both the morning and the evening commutes fairly dry. But if you're out and about around lunchtime or early afternoon, you're going to make sure that you have an umbrella handy. It's not likely to be terribly heavy, but it could be inconvenient. Southern Pines looking pretty this morning, working on the golf course. We should see some much needed rain for the golf courses and our yards and gardens overnight tonight and into the day tomorrow. We take a look at temperatures heading out the door. Upper 50s to low 60s, 63 in Durham, 57 in Roanoke Rapids, and 58 in Goldsboro. Dog walking forecast pretty comfortable in the 60s this morning. We do climb into the low 80s for this afternoon. And coming up in a few minutes, meteorologist Chris Michaels is going to talk about our lower chance for storms coming up in the next couple of days. Ken?
Elizabeth, weather and traffic every 10 minutes. Let's give you this live look at I-87 at Smithfield Road. The southbound lanes, boy, traffic beginning to really pick up. So let's widen out the view, show you the entire stretch of I-87 going all the way back to Wendell Falls Parkway. We're not picking up any delays whatsoever. So keep in mind, if things get a little jammed up on 87, always know you can take Nightdale Boulevard or Business 64 as alternate routes. I'm monitoring other major routes and let you know if I'm picking up any delays coming up.
A Wake County student who was accused of using AI to complete an assignment is taking her concerns to district leaders. Eleanor Canina says that she was falsely accused of using AI to complete an English assignment, and now she is calling on school district leaders to set a clear standard for detecting AI use.
There are absolutely students who are using AI to cheat on their assignments, and teachers are doing their best to navigate the circumstances. But false accusations, along with being incredibly unfair, cause a great deal of stress for students.
And because of this situation, she created a change.org petition calling on district leaders to create guidelines and transparency for when and how AI detection tools are used. And so far, it's gained more than 100 signatures.
We have a scam warning to tell you about this morning. This one targets licensed professionals across our state. According to the Attorney General's office, callers are impersonating representatives from state licensing boards. They are using public information like names and license numbers to seem legit. Scammers claim the victim is under criminal investigation to steal their personal or financial information. Now, before you share any information, look up the agency's official number and call it directly.
We are tracking the potential for much needed rain through tomorrow, and it comes without a big severe storm threat. Meteorologist Chris Michaels is going to show us the key reason why in today's Ask the Meteorologist. I mean, a lot of people right now, Chris, they want so desperately to get more rain.
Yeah, definitely want the rain without the severe weather threat. And tomorrow looks like we can kind of have our cake and eat it, too. So heightened risk today toward the Tennessee River Valley. By tomorrow, that threat is a little more limited toward the North Carolina coast and down toward Florida. In order to get severe weather in meteorology, we love acronyms, one of which is SLIM. It stands for shear, lift, instability, and moisture. Now, we've got 3 of the 4 ingredients for tomorrow, but the instability, the thunderstorm fuel, that's kind of lacking, and it's due to something that we call the cap or a capping inversion. Picture it like this. You have a soda bottle and you shake it up and you want to see all the fizz go up, but you have a cap over it. Well, the fizz doesn't go anywhere. That's pretty much what happens with these thunderstorms. You've got drier, warmer air above the surface that prevents those storms from really reaching their full potential. Sometimes a front can change that, but when you look at the instability for tomorrow, it's really going to be a lot farther to the south. So it's not to say you can't hear some rumbles of thunder, but the severe weather threat does look to be pretty low around here while we track some much needed rain. Elizabeth, really keeping our fingers and toes crossed that this rainmaker materializes.
Oh, we do. You know, Saturday we ended up, seeing that rain coming through, and some folks saw, some in our southeastern counties. But even though we dealt with a chilly and wet day, it wasn't a whole lot for some of us. And we have that potential again. This cold front is producing a good bit of rain and some thunderstorms on the other side of the mountains. But as it comes over the mountains, it may create some what we call gravity waves. And when the wave starts to sink, it dries out, and so that could bust our forecast. So we're hoping that that's not happening. The models are showing a good bit of rain for us, but that is one thing that we have in the back of our minds that could keep us seeing a few, maybe some lower rainfall totals. At 10 o'clock this morning, we have some light showers that'll roll through. Today's rainfall doesn't look like a whole lot. We'll have some waves of rain coming through between 9 and say 3 or 4. And then hopefully the main event happens overnight tonight as we see a good steady band of rain that comes through. Let's jump ahead and talk about Saturday. We have a very small chance of rain late Saturday, especially in our eastern counties. And then this one also looks like another good rainmaker for us. It may start to creep in mid to late afternoon on Sunday. That's a little earlier than we were looking at yesterday. And you could see some rain in store for us during the day on Monday. Starts to move out later on in the afternoon. So hopefully that's going to be a good soaker as well. This is a look at our potential rainfall for the next 7 days, anywhere from 1 inch to 1.5 inches. But again, this first system that comes through tonight and early tomorrow may be affected by some drying out in the atmosphere. We hope that doesn't happen. Boy, we need 10 to 12 inches of rain in a month to get rid of the drought, but we're happy to at least have the potential to see up to 1.5 inches. Let's talk a little bit more about Mother's Day. Of course, we have the potential for some late afternoon showers. That means the bulk of the day will be nice and dry to get mom out, maybe for brunch. Our temperatures over the weekend will be warm in the low to mid 80s, but a little bit cool for us Thursday and Friday. Ken?
All right, as what's happening now, let's take a look at that live look at the northern section of the Beltline, specifically I-440 at Ridge Road. These are the westbound lanes coming toward us this morning. So let's widen out the view, give you a look at the entire stretch going all the way back to I-87 440 interchange. No delays whatsoever in that northern loop of the Beltline. And really, that's what we're seeing in all of our major routes heading into the Raleigh-Wake County area. Very little to no delays, short of a 1-minute delay if you're coming in from Wake Forest, and just a 1-minute delay on I-87 coming in out of Night. All the other major routes, I-40 eastbound, US 1 coming in from Apex, delay free. You're getting ready to head into the car. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Your time is 6:21. Toll dispute. 5 on your side received a call after someone said they received an outstanding bill belonging to a dead relative. We'll tell you what you need to know about whether debts can be passed on to someone else.
Healthcare on the road. We'll tell you about the new piece of tech making it easier for women to get their mammograms. A new mobile unit is taking mammograms on the road with UNC Health Rex. The goal is to reduce barriers like transportation and access and provide care for patients with and without insurance. The effort relies in part on local organizations like the Catholic Charities of the Diocese of Raleigh to host the unit. Staff are also able to provide services in Spanish, helping to reduce language barriers and to educate women on the importance of screenings.
Many of them don't speak the language, so they don't know where to go ask for help, and they trust us. So they come to us, and it's our responsibility to kind of find those services and programs that are available that could serve our population.
Serve these 21 counties operating within a 55-mile radius of Raleigh.
This What's Trending report is sponsored by Call Dad AC and Heating.
A new movie about Anthony Bourdain and the countdown to the Tony Awards.
All right, to talk about our Tony theme we have going on in What's Trending this morning, we have Ken Smith here to talk about it.
So, Kristen, today we're getting our first look at a new biopic about the late chef and author Anthony Bourdain. It's called Tony and stars actor Dominic Sassa. It follows a 19-year-old Bourdain through a summer that would end up changing his life.
And Emilia Jones and Antonio Banderas is also in this with this movie releasing in August. I'm curious to see if they're going to dive into his more personal things. Obviously, he had some troubles there, and I think a lot of people who watch the show, myself included, miss him dearly.
Very much so.
I still watch reruns. So good. So listen, the 2026 Tony Award nominees are out. The Lost Boys and Schmigadoon leading the pack this year with 12 nominations. Revivals like Cats, The Jellicle Ball, Death of a Salesman, and The Rocky Horror Picture Show receiving nominations as well. Also, 96-year-old actress June Squibb earning her first ever Tony nomination and becoming the oldest acting nominee in the show's history for her role in Marjorie Prime.
And Singer Pink will be hosting this year. The awards show will be on June 7th. But Schmigadoon, certainly fun to say, but that's a comedy series that parodies classic Broadway shows, which should be super fun.
Lots of laughs.
Budget cuts. Wake County Schools is set to lose millions in several key areas. We'll tell you where the funding is being pulled from.
Plus, wrongful death lawsuit. 2 Raleigh employees want to be removed from a civil suit over an 11-year-old girl's death during the 2022 Raleigh Christmas parade. Why they say they should not be held liable.
And it's dry during the morning commute, but by mid-morning, we'll see a few isolated showers. And then overnight, that rain could be steady to heavy. I'll show you how much we could see before it ends.